Today you're going to learn a little bit about por versus para, two verbs that can mean for, but they also have many other meanings. Next we're going to see some examples of por and the uses with the rule and the examples. Personally, I would write down both because I think the examples demonstrate the rule best. Por you use with route or passage. So think if you're trying to say by the way of, through, along, or in the area of. Some examples of these would be, we walked through the park. I traveled through Spain last summer. Two other reasons to use por, general rather than specific location. So think if you're trying to say around. I don't know if there's a pool around here. My aunt and uncle live around there, so very general. Por is also used for expressing how long something lasts, duration or passage of time, for or in. Some examples are estudié por 3 horas. I studied for 3 hours. We lived in Puerto Rico for many years. And the general times of in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. He visits us in the afternoon. Use por to express the cause of something, motive, or a reason. Think of if you're trying to say because of. We were unable to camp because of the storm. Use por to express doing something in place of or instead of someone else. In exchange for monetary or goods. So for. So Cecilia paid a lot for her new shoes. I can't go, can you go for me? They gave me $1,000 for the car. Por is used to express a means of transportation or communication. So by, we traveled by boat. I talked last night on the phone with Rafa, so by telephone. Think of por as per as well, for velocity, frequency, and proportion. I go to the restaurant 5 times per week. They pay per hour, 100 kilometers per hour. Math also uses por for multiplication, divisions, and measurements or numbers if you're trying to say at, per, or each. So 2 times 2 is 4, 9 divided by 3 is 3. The oranges cost 3 per dollar. Here are some idiomatic expressions that use por in all of them. They're great to use, especially when trying to up that text type on your IPAs. Por lo menos, por ciento, por dentro, por ejemplo, por favor, por fin, por supuesto, por eso, por lo general, por aquí, and por allí. Para has some of its own unique rules. Para is used to indicate a recipient or for whom something is done. We will buy a gift for Sylvia. Destination and direction. This is when you're going to some place. Okay, once you're not there yet. Francisco took a plane to San Juan. The man left for Madrid. We are walking towards the park. Para indicates that the park is our destination. We use para to express the purpose for which something is done. So if you're ever trying to say in order to or for the purpose of. I exercise in order to live a healthy life. In order to get good grades, you should study. Good command. Notice that these verbs, vivir and sacar, so this is para plus an infinitive. express an opinion. Para mí el fútbol americano es entretenido. To compare or contrast, if you're talking about inequality or considering, and again, contrast to what is expected. For a child, he reads really well. For being inexpensive, it is good quality. Deadline, we use this all the time in the clase de español. For tomorrow, para mañana. So a time in the future. You should finish the homework for tomorrow. I need the dress for Monday. Special use, I wouldn't really dwell on this one. You're not going to use that as often, but it's saying that if there is something that is used for something that like a special use, you wouldn't use it necessarily for what it always is usually used for. Again, like the pot is used to cook. The doll is for looking, not for touching. We use the hammer in order to fix things. So it's stating the explicit use for that. Here's a little of your practica, which you should do on your sheet of paper, 1 through 10. Write whether you would fill in the blank with por or para.